Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone. As you can see by the headline of the video, this short little video, is actually about Ted. So, as some of you already know, Ted had a bit of an accident while playing with his ball, and he ended up with a spinal injury resulting in his a bone or fractured. He's lost the power in his back legs. He can't walk right now. He was fine after it initially. He looked a bit dodgy. We actually thought he injured his front paw originally because he wouldn't let us go near his front paw. So we were assuming it was his front paw. He seemed fine enough. We went to bed. And then when Cheryl woke up, she seen that he wasn't walking. And then when I got up, I got very upset because you could clearly see the dog was very upset, confused. Cheryl was obviously very upset, but she's been very, I have to say, she's been very good throughout this situation. As everybody knows, she's had her own experience with her own dog. So, to go through this potentially a second time hasn't been easy. So we rang the vet. We made an appointment. The appointment wasn't until this morning. It was 11 o'clock this morning. I didn't get a wink of sleep at all. I literally stayed up awake all night in the bedroom. We had him beside us. Cheryl hardly got any sleep as well. We went to the vet. It seemed like the worst part going to the vet, though, was when we handed him, because you're not allowed to go into the vet now because of all of this nonsense with the pandemic. And if anybody's a pet owner, you know yourselves, like animals, cats and dogs are not stupid. They know when they're going to the vet, and Ted just didn't like it. And he looked at me and Cheryl with these eyes as if we betrayed him when we were handing him over. And then I got upset outside the vet because, Cheryl just made me realize it's the first time we actually handed Ted over to someone, a complete stranger. Ted has always been with me, myself and Cheryl. I've had him obviously 4 years before I met Cheryl, and then Cheryl obviously is here now, and we've got our own. This is our little family, and it hit me. We've never actually handed him over to anybody, and it really did get me going. So he was in there for an eternity. And I thought, this is not good the longer. But Cheryl kept reminding me, look, the longer that he's in there, it means that they're really taking their time and they're doing their thing. So Cheryl then was eventually called in. Only one pet owner could go in. So Cheryl went in. And then when I seen she brought Ted out, oh my God, the relief on my face was unbelievable. But when I seen Cheryl's eyes, and I could see that she wasn't sad, that it wasn't, it wasn't what we thought it was. I actually thought, because something like that happens, the worst thing you think of is cancer or something. And that's what I was thinking. And to hear that it was a fracture, even though it's still quite serious, the fact that he's a small, so we were told this, so Cheryl was told, if he was a big dog, I'd be sitting here doing a very different video. Obviously, when I get me composure, but I'd be sitting here telling you that it didn't end good. And the fact that he's a small dog, and the fact that there's still some movement in his back legs, which there is when he's frightened, his legs are moving. So they're saying with rest, and it's going to be a few months now. He's going to need 24-hour care. Remember, the dog can't even get up to go to the toilet, so we'll have to bring him out and do all of that. It'll be like looking after a proper baby now. And we'll do it because, as I said, he's part of our family, and yous have all gotten to know him on the channel as well. And some of yous obviously are shocked to probably hear this because some of yous already know on Twitter. I've informed the people that I can, but I just wanted to not let the rest of yous know, because if I seem a bit off during the week, it's because I'm going to be worried about the little man. Right now, he's at taking his nighttime medication now, and he's in the room now with Cheryl, and then he goes into his playpen, which we've turned into a big bed, put all his toys in there. We have to keep him from moving as much as possible. Unfortunately, as you all know, yourselves, Ted, even though he is in this state, he's a little bit confused because he still wants to run around like a mad little lunatic. Cheryl went out to go to the bathroom and he nearly bleeding jumped off the bed in the state that he's in. I had to bloody grab him. So he doesn't quite understand what's going on. When we brought him home from the vet, he wouldn't look at us for about an hour because he was peed off at us that we handed him over to someone. But you should have seen him. He was out of his face. They gave him painkillers, and the painkillers that they have him on, I'm after reading the back of the box, they give these painkillers to cattle as well. Like cattle, like cows and sheep and stuff. Like, it's really powerful bloody stuff. So they have him that. Now, he hasn't been in pain, that much pain. But obviously the vet, they don't want them in any pain at all, just in case there is any sudden movement. See, that's the thing. We have to kind of try stop the sudden movements. And with a dog, as you know, that's going to be very difficult. But if we can get him to rest, then he heals. And, there's a chance of a full recovery. See, he could lose power in one leg and be able to walk on three. We don't know yet. It's still too early to tell. Now, he goes back on Monday, obviously, to get just to see if there's any progress, and obviously they'll give him more medication. But I'm just delighted that it's not the other thing, because that never ends well, and I just I wouldn't want the little fella to suffer, but I'd be devastated, you know what I mean? But I was so over the moon that I wasn't that. But he's not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but he has a good chance now. Ted is a fighter, trust me. He's a fighter. He's had a hard little life before I got my hands on him and brought him into a nice, safe home. He's had a tough little life, and he's a survivor. He's a battler. So I have no doubts that, that he'll pull through. There can't be any other outcome for me anyway. I can't lose this, that. Not like this. This is pathetic, man. To play with your ball and something like that to happen. Nah. Ted deserves better than that. So, his recovery is going to be a long road. And all I'm just going to say, there might be times, this is why I'm kind of doing this stream, there might be times where I might be late for a stream, or I might have to cancel a stream to look after Ted. Now, I will make up for that stream, but I think you will all understand, Ted comes first. And I just want to say to everybody on Twitter that has sent us beautiful messages, including the rabbi, who said if we needed any help or anything like that to I'm getting emotional now, to let us to let him know. I just want to say thank you for that message, and thanks to everybody else. It's meant a lot. I know a lot of you do really care about Ted, so I thought you had every right to know what the situation is. But I have to tell you, man, it's been the worst 24 hour, 48 hours of my life. I wouldn't even mind. I was only talking to Cheryl the other day about how, you know, three of us are going to grow old together, and then this happens. And what kind of makes it worse as well. I know this is no excuse. I love the dog unconditionally, but being in this pandemic, if we hadn't got Ted, I think me and Cheryl would be stir crazy. He gives us something to do. And he keeps us happy. He puts a smile on our face when we're down. And even the thoughts not having him here, and I know eventually he will, but I would like him when he's old, when he's lived his life, because he deserves that. And some people say, "Oh, you're acting stupid. It's just a dog." Well, you see, this is why pet owners will always be different to people that just have dogs. They become part of the family. They are family, and you get attached to them. And they're not just dogs. They've got unique personalities, and they bring a lot of joy into people's lives. And Ted certainly does do that. He annoys me. I have to say, he does. He's one of the most annoying dogs I've ever had, and he's the most difficult dog that I've ever brought up. And I've had a lot of dogs growing up, all loved, all lived an old age, except for one when a neighbour years ago when I was a kid didn't like our dog, and me mum and dad had a dispute with the neighbour, and the neighbour poisoned the dog. But other than that, all our other dogs have lived a long life, and I want the same for Ted. He deserves it. He's a great little chap. So he's recovering. It's going to be a long process, but he'll eventually get there, because he's a fighter, and he is. Because I'm telling you, man, when I got him and I heard the stuff that was supposed to be happening to him, if that was any other dog, they wouldn't have been able to recover the way Ted has. And that dog has been through the ringer, and even now, right? And it could be the drugs, but still, he's got this big, goofy, stupid looking smile on his face. And you should have seen him then when we did bring him home. We put him in his playpen, but he wasn't happy. He kept crying, looking at me. He wanted to sit beside his daddy in the bed. So we put him up on the bed for a few minutes, and it was just like, I just got overwhelmed. I was just so delighted to have him back. Because I honestly thought once he went into that vet, he wasn't coming back out alive. I really did. But I'm glad it's not as worse or as bad as we think. But he still needs that rest. Or if not, we'll have to get him a set of wheels. It's not life-threatening, but the quality of life wouldn't be great. But there are things that you can do. You can get your dog a set of doggy wheels so they can be able to stand up and pee and all of that. Like, there are options, but we'd rather he heals so we don't have to go down that route. Unless Ted is suffering with pain, right? And he's going to suffer. Well, then, would I even consider? Because, nobody wants to see anybody suffer, whether it's a dog or a human being. And I wouldn't put him through that. But the fact that he's not, he'll fight this. He'll fight this. But I just wanted to know how he is. He's been resting now all day. Cheryl's managed to get him down, actually, over to a nice little grass patch across the road. For him to do his business. So he seems to be okay there. He's eating. He hasn't lost his appetite or anything like that. He's still the same feckin' moany little dog. You should see him. Because he can't move, he's getting more agitated. He's calm now. But he's still normal Ted. The difference is he just can't walk right now, and he doesn't understand why he can't. That's what's confusing for him, and he gets a little bit frustrated. But just a few months of rest, and he should be uh, back to walking again. Hopefully, that's the plan. And we're not. I mean, he's going to need 24-hour care basically. So obviously, myself and Cheryl will rotate, and as you know, I mostly stay up at night time anyway. So that's how it'll work. I'll just leave the doors open. He's in the room. I'll just keep an eye on him, make sure that he's not, that he's still breathing, because obviously you're on medication that can affect your breathing. So that's the main worry and issue there. But and obviously, to make sure that he's not thirsty and stuff like that, and make sure that he's fed, which he is. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So if I am late for a few streams, or I happen to cancel a stream, it'll be because of what's happened. But as I said, I will make it up to you. But I know you don't care about that. I know a lot of you will mostly be just worried about Ted and hope that he gets better. Listen, he'll be fine. He'll be fine if he gets the rest, and I'm hoping he does. And so far, it's been all right. He's been a bit agitated, but obviously, once we give him his pain medication, and he's only get it twice, and we have to give it dead on the time as well, so there can't be any messing around with that. You have and the proper dose. It's not like with humans, when we get painkillers and the dosage might say, well, take 2. And some people will take 3. There are some that will take 4 or 5, because the 2 won't work. But with dogs, you can only give them what you're told because of their metabolism and all of that. So yeah, he'll be a bit goofy now for the next for this next week anyway, until they see they're going to continue him on the medication, or if there's anything else they can do. But I just wanted the rest of you to know what is up with Ted. But I don't want, all I'll just say to you is thank you for all the prayers. You know me. I'm not the most religious person in the world, but thank you. It's meant a lot. And I'd say to you guys out there that do pray, please pray for Ted to get well, because as I said, I even said to Cheryl, I can't even handle. I mean, these last 48 hours for me have been horrible. And I got a little taster of what it could be like without him. And, no. I just, there's a time when he's old, yeah, I can accept that when someone's old, but not like this. Not playing with a ball. That's not how Ted goes down. Ted goes down living a nice life, an old age, and he can die peacefully. He's our baby, and that might sound weird to people out there, but he's our baby. Myself and Cheryl won't have kids, and he is our baby. And we will do everything that we can possibly to make him well. And as I said, providing he doesn't, I'd never do anything if he was going to suffer. So you don't have to worry about, won't go that far. But it's a fracture, right? Normal people recover from fractures. Ted can do the same as well. It's rest, right? And when they said if it was a bigger dog, and the reason why apparently is because there's more pressure. So the fact that Ted is a small dog, his chances of recovery are very high. So I just wanted to put that out to you to make sure, because I know some of you will be really upset about this, because I know Ted has his own little channel. I know when he has a few, I don't know, I think 50 subscribers or whatever, but there are people that genuinely love those videos and love Ted. So I just want you to know where we're at, and I'll keep you updated. Obviously we will be streaming on the Wednesday tour. I'll keep you updated every day. So don't worry. I just wanted to do this video to explain to you all the situation and what happened and where we're at. And right now we're in recovery mode. So yeah, I mean, this has been one hell of a year for me so far, 2021. I mean, it started off great for me and Cheryl. And then, of course, then we had the drama that hit, if you remember all of that crap. And then we had the magazine copyright strike me channel. And then we've had all the stuff the past few months as well. And now this. I mean, look, you know, I don't know what it is, but life just keeps throwing these curveballs at me and Cheryl for some weird reason. But we come out of it every time. And this is one where we're going to do everything we can to make sure that Ted is comfortable, well, and can get back to normal. And I tell you, man, no way, man, that gave me a fright. But there was little things that gave me hope, because there were things that happened to me last dog when he clapped, like the way Ted did, that didn't happen with Ted, that happened to me other dog. So I kind of had hopes that it wasn't that bad, but I was still dreading that other thing. And when it turned out it was just a fracture, and it's still bad, serious, but a fracture is better than the sea. I just hope now he can, because you know what he's like, guys. He's like a little worm. he just can't stay still for a second. But this medication might help as well. Yeah, we're hoping now he just settles, and so far he's been okay. He's been a bit agitated, as I said, but he's been great. And you know what he has? He's gone through the ringer, that little chap. And you know what? He's gone through the ringer again, and he's got nothing but a smile on his face ever since he's come home. And you know what? I was actually surprised when the vet brought out, I was very worried about him going to the vet. And it actually turned out, I don't mean like to find out what was wrong, but I was worried about Ted, because Ted doesn't do well with strangers. And even when when Cheryl handed him off to the vet, he looked at, Cheryl will tell you herself, but he gave her the two of us, the evils, as if we were Judases, handing them over. He was disgusted with us, disgusted. And then, of course, they obviously did all their tests on him, and he must have already, well, they did give him, because Cheryl says started giving him some pain medication. Because then when they brought him out, he was as calm as crap. His tongue sticking out with that big goofy smile that he has, folks. And he just looked at the two of us, and we walked up. People were looking at us this morning. I don't give a shit. We had him wrapped in a blanket, and the vet is only down the road, so we walked down. And people were looking at us in the cars, on the buses and all, and I didn't give a crap, man. That's our baby, making sure he's all right. If I had a car, I'd drive, but, walked down with him this morning. Cheryl carried him in her arms, up and back, like a little baby, because he is a baby. Right, well, I'm going to stop now, because, I could go on all night about how much I love the dog. You all know. I'm just relieved to have him home. It was the biggest relief, actually. And even Cheryl even said it to me. She goes, I know, she goes, that for you, seeing him coming out of the vet was a huge deal. And it was, because the last time I went to a vet, it was with me dad, with our dog Tyson. And we thought we were just going to bring him in for a checkup after he had collapsed. And they were going to do tests on him. And they'd already said, look, he's too far gone. They found lumps and stuff, and then my dad is deaf in one ear, so literally the vet is telling me that they have to put our dog down, and then my dad doesn't know what's going on, and then I have to shout at him in front of the vet, because he's deaf, to basically tell him they're putting your dog down. And my dad and Tyson's relationship was weird because, well, it wasn't weird, but it was like my dad be the first one up in the mornings, so Tyson would see me dad. That was the first face. So they had this thing every morning. Every morning, my dad was devastated actually after Tyson because he went down that morning and he wasn't there, and it just hit him, and he just. I never, I've seen my dad cry a few times. And when Tyson died, that was devastating. And this is what was going through my head when we were bringing Ted down the vet this morning. I thought history was going to repeat itself. Cheryl would have to come out. And then, the worst thing is that only one of us would be allowed in. So I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. Hopefully, he gets the rest. He'll be fine. Right. I've let you know what's going on. As I said, I will keep you updated when we're obviously when I'm doing my streams. But as I said, for everybody that has sent me some all the kind messages for Ted and to me and Cheryl means a lot. Thank you very much, and especially Rabbi who put out that lovely message last night. I'm going to acknowledge it. I don't care what anybody else says. That was nice of you to do that, and I really appreciate that, and thank you. But hopefully there won't be any big medical bills. Right now, there doesn't seem to be anything that we need to get done that's going to cost any big amount of money. We don't need to go down that route. Of course, if we do, the operation or whatever, of course, as I said, we will let you all know, because I know you are all just as worried as we are. So, right, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to say thanks to everybody for the support for Ted. It really does mean a lot. To Cheryl as well. And thank you. And I'll see you on Wednesday. If anything comes up in the meantime, I'll let you know. And I will keep you updated on how Ted's recovery is going. I will even throw up a few videos for you as well to keep you updated. But I did put a video on Twitter the day after he had the accident, when we realized he wasn't, and I honestly thought that was the last video I was going to take of my dog before we brought him to the vet. I cried like a baby all night, man. Tell you, you have a huge impact on your life. You don't realize. You don't realize till you have an animal in your life. Then you know. It's a very unique bond. Right, I'm gonna go anyway. So I'll talk to you all soon. Don't forget to give the video a like. You don't have to share this video. Obviously, this is for you guys on the Tarda Zone to let you know what's going on. So just give the video a like, and if you feel like leaving a comment, you may do so as well. But there's no big deal on that. We all know that Ted is loved by everybody, so we really do appreciate that. Right, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you Wednesday. Have a good one, and I'll see you all very soon.